Hello, good morning, and welcome to this overnight taste challenge. We have two Canadian blend whiskies. This is James Foxe. Simple label. The label hadn't changed since introduced in 1975. Basically, that's what it looked like in 1975, and that's what it looks like now. James Foxe Canadian blend whiskey. Canadian whiskey with natural flavors. Bottled by James Foxe Company, Frankfort, Kentucky. Oh, you say, who in the world is the James Foxe Company? There's the Fox. Well, if you look at the label, the bottle neck carefully, it says, "We love to hear from our customers, Sazerac.com." So it's actually bottled at Buffalo Trace by Sazerac, who owns Buffalo Trace. But it's produced in Canada. This was introduced in 1975, like I said, by the Seagram's company. But Seagram's sold this along with a bunch of other Canadian whiskeys to Sazerac in 1989. James Foxe, Canadian Hunter, Dr. McGillicuddy's Fireball, Eagle Rare, Crown Rust Vodka, I think Crystal Palace Gin. That's 6. Oh, it was a bunch. And at the time, nobody realized that Seagram's was starting to go underneath, dead. And 11 years later, they went out of business. So that's what happened. Sazerac has really grown by doing that, acquiring other people's stuff. They got that distillery bottling plant in Lewiston, Maine. That came from Seagram's. They got Buffalo Trace. That was bought by a company called Shenley Industries. They renamed it Buffalo Trace. Sounds a little nicer, huh? They bought Barton, 1792 distillery from some other company, Barton. Glenmore distillery from Glenmore. And Sazerac Canada, that was a Montreal distillery. It wasn't theirs. They bought it. So that's the way they operate. They just buy up other people's things. They did create some of their own products. Now, I'm not saying they didn't. Like originally Southern Comfort years ago when it had gotten sold off to Brown-Forman, but they bought it back in 2015 for like $500 million. They always had Peychaud's bitters. That's added to cocktails. They had Sazerac. There was some kind of rye whiskey that they used to make. Old Superior rye, I don't know. There was something called Pontalba rum. So they used to have maybe a distillery in New Orleans that was shut down and demolished years ago. I don't know. There is a little tiny distillery they have now in New Orleans on Canal Street. No, Poydras Street. And they make some Sazerac rye there, but most of their production is done in Kentucky. It might have always been the case, okay? You know, they used to make, they started making that herb scent back in the 1930s, herb scent. Really before Prohibition, but they brought it back in the 30s. Now, one thing I noticed about these, the James Foxe is lighter. It's pale. Look like they're not adding any color. They're adding natural flavors. They say that, but so no age statement. I don't know how old these are. I have a guess for the Crown Royal XO. It's finished in cognac barrels, and XO cognac brandy is aged between 6 and 10 years. 6 and 10 years. It's a range. Brandy usually doesn't have a specific year. I mean, it's allowed to. It just usually doesn't. But so that might be a clue that the Sazerac. I mean, the Crown Royal XO is 6 to 8 years old, but I really don't know. It's just a conjecture. Don't know when it was introduced. I saw some people saying 2014, but I couldn't get any information to back that up. So I just didn't write when it was introduced. If I don't know, I'm not going to try to guess. I'm just going to say, I don't know. There was one product that I knew it was no earlier than 2010, but no later than 2011. So I had put that introduced in 2010 or 11. It's kind of awkward to do that. Okay. Price. Oh, price. $35 for the Crown Royal XO. $35. James Foxe. You can get it for like $5.99 in some stores. I'm not kidding about that. I mean, it's not common. But around here, yeah. Oh, I was at Discount Depot once, and they had James Foxe for $2.99, $3.75. So that's $3.6. Yeah, $5.98 for a full amount. That's what I'm saying. I mean, it's not really common in Louisiana, so you might see James Foxe here and there. I mean, you will see it around, but maybe like in only 20% of the liquor stores. Maybe that. But it'll be in all kind of different sizes also. Crown Royal XO, I can go right to Walmart there and get it. You know, I think the Crown Royal Reserve is more common for, I don't know why. I haven't tried it yet. I got a bottle unopened. Okay, just this smells like oak. Oak and corn, huh? Oak and corn. And tell you the truth, this smells just about the same. So on appearance, yeah, the James Foxe is lighter, pale, straw, whereas the Crown Royal is amber, deep amber. Aroma, not getting any difference. Is it going to be a $28 difference? Is the Crown Royal XO going to really going to, is it, can you speak? Is it really going to be $28 better? Perhaps. You know, I never could figure out why Seagram's introduced James Foxe Canadian whiskey. Even the article I read from the New York Times, all the news that fits their agenda, you know, the New York Times from 1975, they were saying, oh, Seagram's got this new Canadian whiskey coming out, and they're going to have this big promo for it and all. And they were saying, well, we don't understand why they're making it. You know, they have a bunch of other Canadian whiskeys in their portfolio, Seagram's VO, Crown Royal, and they were like, well, why are they even coming out with this? You know, it was like a mystery to them. It was like, did they really need more? And then they came out 9 years later with the Canadian Hunter, whiskey for the 1980s. I don't know what that was supposed to mean, a Canadian whiskey for the 1980s. I mean, it was for the 1980s to mid 80s, but it's the same kind of thing. It's like, why are you putting this out? Like, what's the point of it? Maybe there wasn't any point. Maybe the company was like all screwed up, because I read that article about the Canadian Hunter. It was right when Seagram started to shut down divisions, like they shut down General Wine and Spirits and got rid of all their vice presidents. I mean, they were just, I don't know what was going on with that outfit. but like I said, the whole thing went kaplooey, you know, to use fancy words, in the year 2000, 23 years ago. I don't remember when that happened, but I never was following whiskey back then, but or liquor, but I seem like I would have heard about it, but I don't recall. Okay, taste time. Any comments? Oh, gotta cover this up. Old Jack, have you ever tried Canadian Hunter whiskey? Yeah, I got a bottle in my cabinet. It's on the counter right now because I'm going to do a taste challenge against the Crown Royal in a few days. I've tried both. What I mean by both is I found some old bottles at International Market. They said Seagram's Canadian Hunter. And I thought, oh, wow, these are collectibles because Seagram sold Canadian Hunter to Sazerac in 1989. And those things were, I had to wash the dust off of them, when I got home with warm soapy water and all, got the bottle looking nice. But the gold on the bottle was so old, it got oxidized, it like was starting to turn green. Like it, it, it tasted a little different. Like, I guess Sazerac tweaked it. And then that bottle's gone. And then I could have bought a second one, but I was like, oh, well, I don't need to do that. And then I have the modern Canadian Hunter. Canadian Hunter is not spectacularly popular, but it does do well. I see it all the time. I see it in videos, even in the background and stuff. So it's widely available. Every liquor store has it. Somebody's buying it. And not just a few people. Couldn't get any recent information on the top selling Canadian whiskeys, though. From like Statista or anybody. I couldn't get it. Couldn't find it. We know what the number one is, Crown Royal, naturally. This tastes like sugar water. And I'll tell you what, I've drunk, that's the proper term. I've drunk. Drink, drank, drunk. Drunk is past participle. I've drunk enough Canadian whiskey that I know it tastes like sugar water. I guess the corn is so sweet. You say, well, it could be adding sugar. They are allowed to add flavoring. I don't know if sugar is part of it. Could be rum, which is like sugar turned into liquor, right? Okay. Whiskey soaked oak. Whiskey soaked oak. So what we have here, this one is sort of plain. There's no bad flavors with it. There's no off flavors with it. There's no nasty flavors with it. It's just sort of $7 a bottle-ish. You know what I mean? No, I mean, it's just regular, plain, old whiskey. I mean, I don't know how Elio's Wine Warehouse had it last year and the year before for $50 a case, 12 bottles. I'm talking about regular size bottles, like regular bottles. 12 bottles for $50. Now, if I had a need for it, I would have bought it. That'd have been the greatest deal in the world. But they right down the street from Tulane University, across the highway, and then walk one block. So they get a lot of Tulane University students in there. And I'm pretty sure that's what they were, that's where that was going. But I'm not saying it's a college binge drinking kind of idiocy type product. It's not. You could buy it for legitimate reasons and say, well, it's an okay whiskey. Yeah, that's about it. But the Crown Royal XO is just a much higher grade. It's a much higher grade. That's why it's $35 a bottle. So this is the Crown Royal XO. I'm going to call it now so I can open my eyes because I couldn't glance. Yeah. Okay, got it right. Yeah. The only time I got it wrong is when I was going up against other Crown Royal products. It was amazing. It was confounding and baffling, really. I could get it right every time since I've been off the Crown Royal. Can't miss it. Can't get it. Can't miss. But when I was putting Crown Royal XO in competition against Crown Royal Deluxe, the regular Crown Royal Deluxe or Deluxe, spelled two different ways on one website. It's a big mistake. Crown Royal Black, Crown Royal Blender's Mash, or Bourbon Mash, as it called on my bottle. I couldn't tell them apart. I got it wrong 2 out of 3 times. I was so embarrassed. So something about Crown Royal has like a house flavor. You know what I mean? And Sazerac Buffalo Trace whiskeys have that too. They have a house flavor. Does the James Foxe taste like a Buffalo Trace bourbon? Well, no, because it's only bottled there. It's not produced there. But it does taste like that Sazerac type Canadian whiskey, which they're all very sweet, like sugar water. And then they have this nutty, like almond oil flavor. John and Neely say almond extract. So it's hard to say, but they're doing something common, like they're putting the same flavor, and I suspect the same type of flavoring lineup in each of these. You'll never know because it's a secret blend. Do they make some really high grade? Does Sazerac just make regular bottom shelf Canadian whiskeys? No, they don't. They also produce Seagram's VO, which is a mid-grade, really well-known, famous one of the top 5 in the world. So they make Seagram's VO since 2018 when they bought it from Diageo. I never could understand why Diageo would want to sell that, but they did. They make some expensive ones like Caribou Crossing. That's a lot of money. Beautiful bottle with the moose on the caribou on the top. They make the Royal Canadian small batch with the red label. I've never seen it except on the internet. So they make some high grade Canadian whiskey, but I think most of their money is coming from the low grade, the volume sales, the rich and rare reserve, which is like a high level low grade product. You know what I'm saying? It's like the best of the low grades. The Canadian Limited, the Northern Lights, the James Foxe that we're dealing with right now. What are some other ones? The Caliber, which is coming up in the Taste Challenge. Get that at Walmart any day of the week. And I've seen it at other stores. The Canadian Crest, which I see at Albertsons. So those are just selling at a very quick rate, a very speedy rate. It's not really a proper way of saying that, but you know what I mean? They sell a lot of it. So $28 better. Oh, I forgot to turn the light on. Sitting in the dark the whole time. Isn't that sad? I just forgot. I was comfortable in the dark. I don't usually have a light on when I'm doing internet stuff because too much glare. But my videos don't look good without lighting. My daughter bought me this light. Thank you, Elizabeth. All right. So sorry about that. I know it's an overnight video, but it doesn't need to be in the dark. Like Blue Oyster Cult said, in the dark, I found you. To buy it, to try it, yeah, it's worth it. Okay, $35 a bottle, it's worth it to buy it and try it. I wouldn't go over 40, and I'd be reluctant to go over 35 to tell you the truth. And I found it for 35, but I could get it for 34 if I wanted to just really be a penny pincher, but I'd have to go to a different town. If I was passing through, I'd get it. But I bought it, so I paid 35, and it's nice, it's a winner. Now, pretty bottle, huh? For day-to-day purchases, though, everyday drinking, like some people do, I don't do that. I literally never drink liquor. I only do taste challenges. People say, well, that happens constantly. I know. But as far as like say, oh, let me come home from work and have a drink, I don't do that. I just don't drink liquor. Sorry to disappoint you. I just don't do it. I'm not like Maud and Walter. Maud and Walter. All right. Or George and Wheezy, always drinking. I would just save the $28 and get the James Foxe. Okay, I'm gonna tell you the truth. That's what I would do. Is it inferior? Yeah, it's inferior. But it's a good substitute. Like you're not losing that much. Oh, you're losing, but you're not losing $28 of flavor and value. I don't believe it. So am I going to brag on James Foxe? I'm not going to brag on it. And I'm not going to hate on it now. You say, oh, it's almost gone. Yeah, sure is almost gone. This liter bottle is almost gone. I got this for so cheap at Savannah Discount, a liter. And what did I pay? $6.99, I think. Crazy, huh? But I got a whole nother bottle. I got an unopened bottle, regular size, $7.50 in the cabinet. So got a lot more James Foxe to work with. So no, I wouldn't be bragging on it. I would recommend it if you're able to look at things within a certain context, okay? It's not going to taste nasty. It's not going to taste like harsh or weird, or well, maybe it'll taste weird because, you know, it's got that almond extract and vanilla. But is that really weird, vanilla in whiskey? That kind of goes along with it. All right, so anyway, they're both winners in their own sort of way. You understand? They both win in their own category. James Foxe wins in the value conscious category. Try to be nice when we speak. And Crown Royal wins in the above premium category, So 2 winners, and that's it. And so see y'all next time, and have a nice day. I can get a fifth of it for $9.99 where you live, says Old Jack. Oh, you're talking about Canadian Hunter? Yeah, that's a normal price, but I saw it yesterday for $8.99. I saw Henry McKenna straight Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey, aged 4 years or more, $8.99 regular bottle. Amazing.